You know that moment when something's supposed to be a tribute but ends up triggering a full-on fandom civil war? That's exactly what happened recently with BLACKPINK, and honestly, it's been messy. During their massive deadline tour, the girls have been doing something super special, taking turns performing each other's solo tracks live on stage. Cool, right? It's like a celebration of each member's unique identity while keeping the OT for Magic Alive sounds harmless until the Jennie performance dropped. Yet BLACKPINK's full group version of Jennie's solo track Like Jennie was meant to be iconic. But instead, it went viral for all the wrong reasons. Now let's break down what actually happened. In the fan-captured footage, Lisa came in like a queen, her stage presence, charisma, and that swagger. Chef's kiss, even fans of other members were praising her, she ate no crumbs. But then came Rosé and Jisoo, and that's when things spiraled. Comments started flooding in like a tidal wave. Why don't they know the choreo? Are they even trying? Double standards much. People were comparing it to the time Jennie got dragged for supposedly lazy dancing during Jisoo's earthquake performance. The irony. That moment was literally Jennie having fun, mimicking the backup dancers for kicks. But the backlash, brutal. So when Rosé and Jisoo seemed offbeat or unsure during Jennie's song, it ignited rage. Fans saw it as disrespect, some called it shade, others saw it as proof of favoritism, and of course, blinks were split right down the middle. Now here's the real tea. Was it really that bad, or are we witnessing the echo chamber of K-pop Twitter magnify something small? Some fans defended the girls, saying they had little time to prep the choreo and were just doing their best. Others said, if Jennie had done that with their songs, she'd be cancelled in seconds. It all circles back to that double standard conversation. Jennie's always under the microscope, whether she blinks, breathes, or blinks while breathing, someone's offended. So when she finally gets her moment and it doesn't get the same level of respect, people notice. But honestly, here's my take as a fan. I don't think any of them were being shady. They've been touring non-stop, constantly giving their all. Still, perception matters when you're BLACKPINK. Every second on stage is a statement. And this Like Jennie cover, yeah, it said more than they probably intended. And just when the fandom was trying to recover from the Like Jennie drama, something way more disturbing came up, and honestly, it still has me shaken this time. It's not about choreo, vocals, or stage presence. It's about boundaries and respect, and how sometimes fans forget that idols are human beings first. So, during one of the US stops on BLACKPINK's deadline tour, Rosé was doing what she always does, being her sweet, sunshine self. You know how she is, glowing with joy, smiling wide, leaning down into the crowd to connect with blinks. Truly connect. It's one of the reasons fans adore her. She makes you feel like you're not just watching a star, you're sharing a moment with her. But that moment turned violating. While performing Apt, she got up close and personal with fans. That alone, legendary. The crowd was euphoric. Everyone was reaching out for even just a finger graze. But in the middle of all that excitement, a video surfaced that made hearts drop. Multiple fans, yes, multiple, were seen touching her inappropriately. Hands reached places they had no business reaching, including her chest. Let that sink in. She's on stage, she's working. She's trusting us, her fans, with her vulnerability, and instead of receiving that energy with love and care, some people treated her like she was a prop, not a person. The internet erupted, comments flooded in. That's assault. Whoever did that should be banned permanently. This is why idols don't trust fans anymore. Some even questioned why she kept going so deep into the crowd, with others painfully replying, she does it because she loves us. She wants to make memories, and now you've ruined it. Rosé hasn't publicly responded. She didn't flinch. She didn't stop. That's Rosé, always professional, always elegant. But that doesn't mean it didn't affect her, and honestly, as a fan, it affects me. Because K-pop idols already give so much. They train for years. They sacrifice privacy, rest, safety, peace. And when they finally get to be face-to-face with us, their reason for doing all this, and this happens. It's beyond disappointing. It's violating, and it's not just about Rose anymore. This is about a culture where fans feel entitled to cross lines, to grab, to grope, to disrespect, all under the excuse of excitement or fan service. No. Being close to your idol is a privilege, not a free pass, and the fact that Rose's sweet, glowing Rose was subjected to that, in public, under the stage lights, in the middle of doing what she loves, that should have never happened. So if you're going to a concert, remember this. Fandom is a relationship, and just like any healthy relationship, boundaries protect the magic. And as if K-pop fandoms weren't already feeling like emotional war zones lately, let's talk about the unnecessary hate train that's targeting i-dle Jeon Soyeon again. Yep, again. Honestly, I'm tired. Tired of waking up to trending posts that sound less like critiques and more like full-blown character assassinations this time. It's not about her music, her performance, or even her attitude. It's about her face. A now viral post on Pan has nearly 200,000 views and is just straight up savage. The poster calls her seriously ugly, claims she looks desperate, and even suggests that with professional hair and makeup, she might be passable as an idol. Are you hearing this? The post focused on her recent public appearance denim mini dress, bold pixie cut, and yes, that signature Soyeon edge. You know the vibe, confident, bold, unapologetic. The exact thing we've always admired her for. But apparently, confidence becomes a crime when it doesn't fit some people's plastic princess standard. And listen, if you've been following Soyeon for any amount of time, you know she's not here to fit in, she's here to lead. She's the creative brain behind so many of i-dle's hits. She's fiercely independent, and she wears her looks like armor, stylish, sharp, and sometimes even jarring, but always authentic. And yet, here we are, dissecting her features like she's a dress on a clearance rack. Now here's the twist. While that toxic Pan post was racking up upvotes, the comment section was fighting back like hard. Some fans clapped back with brutal honesty. Still better than the male idols you fangirls obsess over. Why are you saving and reposting pics of someone you can't stand? She's prettier than Les Seraphim, though. Others called out the obvious double standards. We cheer on male idols who go experimental or rugged, but the second a female idol dares to step outside the cute glam K-beauty mold, suddenly she's trying too hard or not idol material. Soyeon isn't everyone's cup of tea. Sure. But does that justify dragging her like this? We talk about self-love, confidence, women empowerment, and then this is what we do when a woman actually embraces her power. Make it make sense. I'll say this as a fan and as someone who's watched K-pop evolve since the second-gen days. Soyeon is the future. She writes, she produces, she leads, she's a walking statement. You don't have to love every outfit or every style choice, but reducing her worth to a viral hate post, that's just cowardly. And to those who say, well, she's a celebrity, she signed up for this. No. She signed up to be an artist, not a punching bag for people hiding behind usernames and keyboard courage. Let's do better. As fans, as a community, as humans. And if you thought the hate Soyeon received was bad, let's talk about something even more disturbing, something that honestly feels more like a scene from a horror film than a real-life incident. A video just went viral that shook K-pop Twitter, Weibo, Instiz, you name it. It shows popular ZEROBASEONE member Zhang Hao literally running for his life. Not metaphorically, not in a dance practice. In real life, from actual people. In broad daylight? This wasn't fan service, this wasn't an event, this was stalking, and the worst part. The ones doing it call themselves fans, so here's what happened. The clip, which appears to be CCTV surveillance footage from a restaurant, shows a man believed to be Zhang Hao rushing out of a food court at full speed. At first, you think maybe it's an emergency. But seconds later, you realize he's being chased. And not by one or to sasaengs by hundreds. A literal mob is sprinting after him, weaving through tables, nearly knocking things over. It's chaos, and no, this isn't an exaggeration. The scene looks so intense, netizens actually compared it to zombies, like train to Bison level swarm. Zhang Hao was reportedly just out trying to enjoy a normal meal, no stage lights. No press, just dinner, and yet he was forced to abandon his food and run because a crowd of obsessive fans couldn't let him breathe. Can we take a second to just process that? This guy who probably trained for years, poured his heart into debuting, finally made it into a top-tier group, is now living in a reality where he can't even eat without an escape plan, and for what? So someone could grab a blurry phone video. So they could say, I saw him up close at the cost of his sanity. Let me say this loud, this is not fandom, this is harassment, and it's not just Zhang Hao. We've seen this happen time and time again. From idols getting chased at airports, to sasaengs hiding in hotel rooms, to people installing trackers and gifts, the obsession is out of control. You'd think in 2025, with all the conversations we've had about idol mental health, about respecting boundaries, about trauma, this kind of behavior would start to die out, but no, it's evolving. It's faster, creepier, bolder. People online were rightly horrified. Comments like, "Why live like that? They really look like zombies. At least pretend not to notice when he's eating. He's a human being." Exactly. Imagine you're Zhang Hao finally catching your breath after schedules, just trying to enjoy hot pot or dumplings with your staff, and suddenly you're sprinting out the back like you're escaping a war zone. It's heartbreaking. And where are the agencies in all this? That's the question everyone's asking. Because let's be honest, if your artists are being hunted down mid-lunch, maybe it's time to stop spending all the budget on teasers and start investing in real security. Zhang Hao deserves better. All idols do. We love them for their talent, their passion, their authenticity, not because we want to own them. Not because we want to corner them in restaurants like Prey. So next time you think about what being famous must feel like, remember this: fame isn't freedom. For idols like Zhang Hao, sometimes fame feels more like a cage. And just when you think nothing could top the horror of an idol being chased through a food court like Prey, another story hits. And this one, it's not just disturbing. It's infuriating, because we're not talking about sasaengs or online trolls this time. We're talking about abuse from within. From someone in power, someone who was supposed to protect idols, not destroy their trust. A former executive from the agency behind Omega X has just been found guilty of assaulting member Jaehan during their 2022 US tour. You'd think that would be a win for justice, right? Yeah, no doubt, because the court fined her 500,000 KRW, that's around 361 United States dollars, for physically assaulting an idol. Let that marinate. Let's rewind to what actually happened. It was October 22nd, 2022, right after a concert in Los Angeles. Backstage vibes, probably a mix of exhaustion and adrenaline. According to court records, this executive got angry apparently because Jaehan didn't thank her properly after the performance. So, what does she do? She grabs him by the hood of his shirt, yanks him near an elevator, and pulls him so hard that he literally falls to the ground. Over a thank you. The incident was caught on video, thank God, for fans and staff with receipts. Jaehan, visibly shaken, later shared that he was dealing with panic symptoms at the time and lost his balance when he was pulled from behind, and yet the woman responsible denied it all, claimed it was discipline, said she only briefly touched his clothing. Girl, there's video. The court didn't buy her story. Thankfully, they ruled in Jaehan's favor, acknowledged her complete lack of remorse, and confirmed she made zero effort to apologize. But then, they hit her with a fine that's barely the cost of a high-end meal in Gangnam, and if that's not enraging enough, buckle up. This same executive is now under investigation for sexually harassing 6 Omega X members during their overseas schedules. That case has been forwarded to prosecutors with a recommendation for indictment. Yes, you heard that right. 6 members. Sexual harassment, and the physical assault charge was apparently only worth $361. Fans are understandably furious, outraged, betrayed. Because this isn't just about one incident, it's about a system that fails idols again and again and again. Omega X eventually came forward. They bravely held a press conference, detailed everything: the assault, the verbal abuse, the forced drinking, the sexual misconduct. And let's be real, coming out against your own agency, that's not just rare, that's risky. They put their entire careers on the line, and still, this is the justice they get. Sure, they won their contract termination and damages lawsuit. That's a win, but the emotional trauma, the mental health impact, the damage to their trust in the people meant to protect them. You can't put a price tag on that. And if you could, it sure as hell shouldn't be 500,000 won. This entire case is a reminder of something we often forget in the glitter and glam of the K-pop world. Idols aren't just performers. They're employees, and behind every stage performance is a workplace dynamic, one that too often turns toxic when power goes unchecked. Jaehan didn't deserve this, Omega X didn't deserve this, no idol deserves this, and honestly, until the industry stops protecting abusers and starts valuing its talent as people, not just products, this cycle is going to repeat. We can't let that happen. Okay, after all the heartbreak, chaos, and controversy we've unpacked today, I want to end this episode with a story that genuinely made me tear up, because in the middle of an industry that can sometimes feel too cold, too harsh, and too transactional, there are still pure moments. Moments that remind us why we fell in love with K-pop in the first place. Let's talk about Taeyang. Yes, Big Bang's Taeyang, one of the most respected vocalists in K-pop history, just held his first ever solo fan meeting, not in the last few years, in 19 years, let that sink in. After nearly 2 decades in the game, countless awards, iconic comebacks, and personal milestones, Taeyang finally stood in front of a crowd of fans, not as a group member, not as part of a big label event, but as himself, intimate, raw, present. And during this emotional event, a video went viral for the most beautiful reason. A fan who's been supporting Big Bang since her school days was preparing to get married. She attended the fan meeting with zero expectations. But then something happened that felt straight out of a K-drama. Taeyang called her name, he congratulated her on her wedding, he held her hand, he serenaded her with a soft smile and the same soulful voice that probably got her through sleepless nights, broken hearts, and tough exams. And she just broke down, not from sadness but from years of emotional weight finally releasing. In her own words, because of Big Bang, I endured the most difficult school days of my life. The singer I loved my whole life, who helped me through hard times, congratulated me on a new beginning. I cried when he called my name. I cried again when I saw his warm eyes, and again when he held my hand. It felt like all the hard times had healed. Honestly, I'm crying just reading that going, because that's the magic of K-pop. It's not just music going, it's connection, it's feeling seen. It's finding strength in a voice that's halfway across the world. And for that fan, the pain, the pressure, the stress of school, of growing up, all of it was somehow acknowledged and soothed in a single moment by the person whose music gave her the strength to keep going. And Taeyang, he didn't brush it off. He didn't just smile and wave. He said, "Thanks to your love, I have come this far. Today is a special day for me."
Like, what do you even say to that? In a world where fans give so much love, so much time, money, energy, it's moments like this that remind us we are not invisible, that sometimes the idols feel it too.
Taeyang's Asian tour is kicking off this August in Japan, and something tells me it's going to be way more than just a concert series. It's going to be a thank you from an artist who's seen it all, to the fans who never gave up on him. So here's your reminder. Never underestimate the impact your love and support has. One message, one letter, one cheer in the crowd can become someone's lifeline.